Good day everyone, this is Sharon and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this orange market bag. You can use any color of yarn that you like, and for this project I have used a 4mm crochet hook and a medium weight yarn. For this project I'll be using an acrylic yarn in color orange and then 4.0mm crochet hook. So to start, we're going to make a magic ring, and then into the magic ring we're going to start our first double crochet, which is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then into the same ring we're going to work 9 more double crochets for a total of 10 double crochets. Double crochets in total. Pull the yarn tail, and then we're going to work a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet, which is the chain 3. Now we're ready for round 2. For round 2 we're going to chain 3, 1 double crochet into the same stitch, and then 2 double crochets into every stitch around. By the end of this round you should have 20 double crochets in total, and to end this round you're going to work a slip stitch on top of the third beginning chain. So now we're done with round 2. For round 3 we're going to chain 3, and then into the next stitch we're going to work 2 double crochets. So in this round we're going to work an increase or 2 double crochets into every second stitch. So in here we're going to work 2. At the end of the round you should have 30 double crochets in total, and then on top of the third beginning chain we're going to work a slip stitch. For round 4 we're going to chain 3, and into the next we're going to work 1 double crochet. Now into every third stitch, which is here, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So into every third stitch we're gonna do an increase or 2 double crochets. At the end of this round you should have 40 double crochets in total, and to end this round, as always, we're going to work a slip stitch on top of the third beginning chain. So we're going to work a few more rows in order to make the base of this market bag bigger. So you can work as many rows as you want, because the next stitch that we're going to do for the top section of this market bag is in multiples of 10. And as you have noticed, we started off with 10 double crochets into the magic ring. Round 2 is 20, round 3 is 30, and round 4 is 40. So as we move on to the next round, it's going to increment by 10 double crochets. So for the next few rounds, that's the same thing that you're gonna do. This time it's gonna be on every 4th stitch around, and so on. So as you move on to the next round of this circle pattern, you're going to move the stitch into the next one. Alright, so I hope you're able to get how to make the circle pattern, and then after working until I guess round 10, or maybe I'll show you after I finish how many rounds I did for this circle, and then we're gonna start working the stitch for the top section of this market bag. So on round 5 you're gonna have 50 double crochets in total. For round 6 we have 60 double crochets in total. Round 7 I have 70 double crochets in total. Right, so for round 8 there should be 80 double crochets in total. So if you want to keep on moving to make the bottom base bigger, just keep on increasing, and no matter how big the base is gonna be, it's okay. It is still in multiples of 10. So for me, I will stop right here, and then we're now going to work a few more rounds, maybe 2 more rounds of, or 1 double crochet in every stitch around. I will do 2 rounds of it, so I'm going to start by chaining 3 and then 1 double crochet into every stitch. After doing 2 rounds of just 1 double crochet into every stitch, you will notice that it's gonna curl up a bit, but don't worry. I did this in order to have a bigger bottom base, and the next stitch we're going to work the stitch that I did in rows. Now it's gonna be in rounds. To start, I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the next 4 stitches, into each of the next 4 stitches, I'm gonna work my 4 treble crochet. So this is my second treble. Chain 4, by the way, counts as 1 treble. So my third, four, and 5. After this, I'm gonna work my treble, just 1 treble, and then I'm going to skip 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th. That is where I'm gonna do my 1 treble. Now we're going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and then into the very next available stitch. That's when we're going to do our first treble of the 5 trebles in a group. So we're repeating what we did in the first. We're gonna do 1 treble into each of the next 5 stitches. So we already have 1. We need 4 more. So I have 2 here, 3, 4. And then 5. So now I have 5 trebles, and we're just going to repeat that. We need 1 treble, 1, 2, yarn over twice, and then we're skipping 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th that is when we're gonna work our treble again. Let me just repeat. And then next is we're gonna work chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the very next stitch, which is right next to the individual treble, we're gonna do 1 treble in each of the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 treble after skipping 4 stitches into the 5th. That's when we're gonna do a treble. So this is just a very easy stitch to follow, and just keep repeating that, and I'll show you how to end the round. So in here I'm about to work my last treble. I need to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, into this very last stitch. I'm gonna work my last treble, and since the next step is we have to chain 4, so we need to chain 4 first, 2, 3, 4, and then work a slip stitch on top of this first treble crochet, which is a chain 4. Alright, to get to the next round, you're gonna work slip stitches into each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, until we get to the last one here. Now when you get to the last, on top of this last treble crochet, that is when we're gonna work 1 treble, 2, 3, 4, and then for the chain space we need 4 more chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now next is we're going to work a treble into the chain 4 space until we have 5 trebles in total, and 5. Now once you have 5 over here, next step is we're going to work a treble into the 5th treble of the 5 trebles. So we always work a treble into the last of the 5 treble crochets, and then followed by chain 4, and then 5 trebles into the chain 4 space. 5. And then next is we're gonna work a treble again into the last of the 5 trebles. So we're just repeating the same pattern, only we're going to this direction. Now we're going to do chain 4, and then into the chain 4 space work 5 trebles. So just keep repeating that, and I'll show you how to end this round. Alright, now to end a round, we're going to work a slip stitch on top of the first treble, which is the chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is when we're going to make or work a slip stitch. And also you should have chain 4 space in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the next round, for every chain 4 space we should have 5 trebles. So in here, work a slip stitch into the chain 4, and then we're gonna start chaining 4, which counts as 1 treble, and then we're gonna do 5 more trebles. I mean 4 more trebles. Then we're gonna chain 4. After chaining 4, we're gonna work a treble into the first of the 5 trebles. So yarn over twice and then into the first of the 5 treble crochets, we're gonna do 1 treble. And then we're going to work 5 trebles into the next chain 4 space. You might get confused a little bit with the pattern because we're doing the opposite now. Just a key to remember, every chain 4 space you're gonna work 5 trebles. It's going to look a little bit weird because when you take a look, it seems like this particular stitch, this particular group of trebles are in this position or in this direction, while the other is going towards that direction. Well, actually that is the kind of stitch that we are achieving right now. So obviously into the next round it's gonna go into the same direction as this one. So into the next stitch we're going to work chain 4 first, and then 1 treble into the first of the 5 trebles. And then we're gonna work 5 trebles into the next chain 4 space. So that is going to be the repeat pattern, and I'll show you next how to end the round. Right, now to end the round, we're gonna work our last treble into the 5th of the 5 trebles. And then we're gonna chain 4 for the last time, and then work a slip stitch on top of the first treble, which is chain 4. So there you go. This is what it looks like. Now when you get to the next round, just by looking at this particular stitch, I know it's gonna get a bit confusing though, but one thing to remember is that when we get to this chain 4 here, we always work the 5 trebles. So we're now going to work a slip stitch until we get to the chain 4 space, and then we're gonna chain 4, which counts as 1 treble, and then we're gonna work 4 more trebles to complete the 5 trebles. Now, as you can see, the direction is the same as this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow what we did in this round. So after this, after chaining 5, we're going to work a treble into the last of the 5 trebles here, and then we're going to chain 4 and then work 5 trebles in here. So for this round, for round 14, we're actually repeating round 12. So we're gonna work 1 treble into the last of the 5 trebles, and then we chain 4 before we work 5 treble crochets into the chain 4 space. Now that is what we're going to be repeating. So I have 10 rounds of double crochet stitches for the base, and then round 11 and round 12 here is the repetition of round 14, and into the next round, round 15 will be a repetition of round 13. So you will never really get lost, because you can go back to round 12 and 13, and that's the pattern that you're going to follow in order to move on to the next rounds until you get the length that you want or the height that you want for this market bag. Now to end the round, you're gonna work a treble into the last of the 5 trebles, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work a slip stitch on top of this first treble made. So that is how you end round 14. So you will be repeating round 12 and 13 until you get the length that you want for this market bag. So the next clip, I'll show you how many rounds I made, and after that we're gonna make the handle for this market bag. I hope you stay tuned for the next part of this video. Thank you for watching.